Hello everyone, welcome back to Informers War for Cybertron, as I am about to record Mission 8. I have had a headache running for the past 5 days, but I'm still doing this because I love you all. Now, I should have things a bit better planned this time. So let's see who we have. There is of course Optimus again. And then we have Ironhide, the old tough guy. And then there's Warpath, who is... well, he's a tank. And as far as I know, the only tank the Autobots have, unless you count Omega Supreme's partial alternate form. So let's go with him this time.
Having embraced his destiny as leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime leads a small band of Autobots to save the core of Cybertron itself from the clutches of Megatron. But to do so, they must first rescue the mightiest Autobot Guardian ever created, Omega Supreme.
Warpath! Slow down! What's wrong, Ironhide? Too rusty to keep up? Great! The Decepticons are locking down! I could bring this kid, Optimus.
You're about to find out.
Kablam! Yeah! Now that's an entrance! Dial it down a notch, kid. I've only got one setting, old-timer! Kablam!
We're a team, Warpath. Let's focus on finding Omega Supreme.
I like how he just casually falls into his alternate form. As for his characterization, I'd say it's based more on the cartoon than the comics, because he didn't have this whole kablam, blammo thing going in the comics. Really, that was a cartoon thing, but I guess High Moon went with the one they preferred.
Omega Supreme. What have they done to you?
They're torturing the poor fella.
Ratchet, this is Optimus. We've located Omega Supreme. Can you access the terminal here remotely and find a way to free him?
Negative, Optimus. The system is too well protected to hack. But if you can find a way to weaken their power grid, I might be able to get in.
Since when has Ratchet been a hacker? Guess there's nothing to do but move on. But yeah, my first topic for this time is Warpath himself. I must admit I honestly don't remember much about him from the cartoon. Did he have a big presence there? I mean, I remember his personality, but not exactly anything he was involved in, so I'm going to stick to what I remember from the...
There! Blast the power cells!
I get to shoot more stuff? Score! Boom!
That did it. I'm in. The whole facility's in lockdown mode. Guess they know you're there, huh?
Wonder how that happened.
I'll punch up a holomap. There. First thing you need to do is hack the main security console. That'll cancel the lockdown.
We've got company.
I'm glad I don't have to actually read that map.
Just tell me when the pro shows up.
And the old-timer thing is, well, That was a thing both in the cartoons and the comics, because
I consider this Meals on Wheels.
Ironhide is one of the oldest Transformers and one of Optimus's oldest friends.
Glad I found this.
Now, what I want to talk about with Warpath is that he's fairly unique for an Autobot. I mean, aside from a couple of the
Sometimes I let my guns do the talking.
a couple of the aerial bots who are actually fighter jets,
Double bam!
it's very
Trip over your ego, Warpath.
it's actually unusual for an Autobot to have a war form. That was typically a Decepticon thing. Like, the Autobots would have more utility forms, like road vehicles, trucks, passenger aircraft, rescue craft, stuff like that, while
Weapons too hot. Watch out! They're coming in.
while the Decepticons had the stuff like the...
Shields.
Be careful, Warpath. It may be a trap.
It's a trap.
Be aware. We've got cloakers nearby.
No more trouble out of him. Cooling phase.
Was the MP shotgun always this good?
These rockets really annoy me. Cooling weapons. I could do this all day.
Well, it's hard to move the camera so you can see it here, but hopefully you notice that he has his tank cannon on his stomach. And part of the original continuity was that he actually used that as a weapon, even in robot form. He didn't have any handgun because he just fired from his chest. Which is kinda clever, I suppose. But yeah, he was originally part of Blaster's resistance group that I talked about a few episodes back.
Watch out there. Unlock the security console just ahead.
What's that going to do? Get us more map? Oh, it is the same map. I see up there is where we were earlier, and then we went in here. Okay, so maybe I can actually read this map. I guess that means this thing is Omega Supreme.
Wow! Look at all the hardware in here. It takes all of this just to keep Omega locked up?
He's one of the toughest Autobots that ever lived, kid. You bet it takes all this.
Shouldn't we go over here? I'm certain there's... maybe there's just ammo here. Oh well. In comics, Warpath was... despite having a very, very warlike form, he was one of the more reserved Autobots, but strangely proactive. Like, something was causing a problem, his solution was to just blast it. Like when the Autobot base got attacked and the attacker was using missile launched scramblers, and Warpath figured the best thing would be to just blast them while he could. Unfortunately, there were too many scramblers for even him to deal with, but that's a story I'll reserve for a little bit later. Other major stories Warpath has been part of. Not that I can really remember. He has some of the most firepower of any Autobot, really, from a base form.
Omega restraint is offline.
Great work. Just one more to go.
Weapon cooling complete.
It's actually interesting too, because since how are you moving so quickly? Because he wasn't part of the original group that went on the Ark, he didn't get a human form. Instead, he kept his Cybertronian tank form. And that was actually not far removed from this, although the turret was bigger. Like, you could easily see in the comics and the cartoon that his stomach was his entire turret, and it was quite visible. Nothing up here but me, it seems. Poor Omega to have been reduced like this.
Prisoner designate Omega Supreme is unsecured.
Liberated.
That did it. Let's get in there and help him out.
Why isn't he fighting back though, even if he is corrupted?